welcome to Workhorse Wrestling Network. You are gathered with us tonight for the Cookout Podcast. And you can go ahead and call me Huey Lewis because I'm with the news.
My God.
Special news brief episode of the Cookout Podcast. We are talking about what's cooking up in the world of professional wrestling.
Uh, you never disappoint with the bad joke with the bad dad jokes.
I do what I can.
Never
I ain't
dis.
got no kids, so I have to give them to you.
Yes, so welcome in on a Tuesday night where we are going to talk about, I guess that's going to be what's cooking up in the world of professional wrestling. A lot of times we have games and do fun stuff. Not tonight can't be fun, but we are going to talk about, I guess, kind of like we did last week, a little about the state of wrestling, but we actually have some other topics and stuff that's been in the news. So, we're kind of treading water, waiting for Anika, who was here for a minute and then disappeared. So I don't know if she's having technical difficulties and not totally sure what time CM's going to be here. She said she was running a little late. So, but I guess, we could probably start talking about something. There are a million and one news stories all the time in wrestling. So, we can stay away from the big
Let's
ones.
throw. Let's start
Uh,
off by throwing a softball.
okay.
Um, so Naomi and Brian Myers were on both Raw 1000 and Impact 1000.
And there was another one. They were claiming that they were on another one too. There was some other marquee show. There was three of them technically that they said that they were on. But yeah, I mean, I guess it's kind of interesting. I mean, it is what it is. That leads me into the one news story that I had that didn't really have much meat, but I thought I'd mention it anyhow. Is that they announced today that the Impact 1000th show will be two parts as opposed to just one. So it's pre-recorded and it'll show on the 14th this week, and then part two on the 21st. So technically, it's two nights of
Mhm.
Impact for the 1000th episode. Not in a row, but two nights on that. What's up, Anika?
What's up? What's up? Why is Sammy looking good? What's wrong with you? What was
I,
you doing today?
I decided to dress as an anchor for our news episode.
Oh man,
Right.
you should have told me. I could have dressed up too.
I guess when Halloween gets closer, we could use dress up for some Halloween episode. There you go.
Oh,
Uh,
oh, you want to see my costume?
yeah, let's see your costume.
I'll be right back.
All right. So we were just talking about. Sammy was mentioning that it was reported that both Brian Myers and Trinity were on the Raw 1000 episode and now the 1000th episode of Impact too. I
That's
swear they said
insane,
something else too, but whatever. None of that's those two for sure. So yeah, right. It's kind of weird, right? Like,
right?
which is
This is my. I'm not. I'm not with you today. I'm not with
uh,
you today.
so it's interesting to see the trajectories of both of their careers, right? I mean, I guess probably neither of them probably would have thought that they'd be on the Impact 1000th episode. And at the same time, like where they're at in their career, it's not a bad spot for either of them, really. I mean, they were both in WWE at one point and probably thought that this is where I'm going to stay and be, whatever. But
hmm
honestly, like with the way in my opinion, and maybe it's not. I mean, maybe it's always been subpar, but WWE is really not very good just in general as an organization, as a place to be. And so I mean I'm happy for these people that they're not there anymore, potentially suffering, that they're both in Impact doing better. I mean Brian Myers is definitely doing much better on the independent scene than he was as Kurt Hawkins, right? So and I mean Trinity, was doing fine in WWE other than being, obviously taken advantage of, which is why she left and asked you dumb shit, which is why she left. But
Yeah.
I mean,
and she's a star here too. So I mean, I think it's a pretty lateral move. So I'm happy for both of them.
so He had 3 achievements. He was an edgehead.
Okay.
He was the tag team champion,
He was.
and he had the longest losing streak.
He did.
Oh, okay. Yeah, those are some dubious honors. There you go.
And like they're trying to do something with him and Zack Ryder, but of course it didn't pop off because creative is stupid. But like I think just now is a great time that there's more than one wrestling company. It was so like those 10 plus years of WWE being the main person wasn't really doing any good for anybody, honestly. They didn't have enough TV time for all the wrestlers, and the indie people didn't have enough money to pay their wrestlers. So, yes, this is a great time for more than one company to thrive. I'm very happy right now.
Yeah, and like we talk again, like we as wrestling fans and here at Workhorse really try not to be tribalistic. We like all wrestling. We all, we
Well,
want everyone to be everywhere.
I support this tribe right here.
And the reality is that WWE is still playing their kind of isolationist games. And if Trinity was still there as Naomi and Brian Meyer, we wouldn't see them everywhere. Now they're getting a chance to spread out, get to be
Hmm.
seen in other companies, make their name internationally, actually get their name known. Now, like I said before, I think we're in a golden age of wrestling with the internet and the access to wrestling. So like you can actually go and make yourself an international star nowadays. And that might not happen with WWE unless you're at the top of the whatever. So um,
Well, you
you know.
mentioned internet, so I think I'll go ahead and segue into my story. So,
Da-da-da-da!
Da-da-da-da.
Wrestling. I'm doing the news theme song.
WWE's TV deal and streaming deal are up next year.
Yeah. But
Interesting.
what's even more interesting is that officially yesterday was the last day that Vince McMahon is technically the owner of WWE. I guess the sale has officially gone through, and today Endeavor
Hmm.
to control or tomorrow or something. Now, to be fair, Vince is still going to have a huge impact on what's going on, apparently. But it won't be owned by the McMahons for the first time in forever, right? He won't be in full control for the first time in a long time. So
A
both of
lot
those
of
are interesting. I
things,
mean, they kind of play together. So
a lot of things are up in the air about this. There's a lot of speculation. I'll slowly move my way into talking about it. So,
Segway.
although not having it on Fox, Disney is still interested in keeping it, but moving it to somewhere else. They do own ESPN, but it was stated online that FX would be more likely home for SmackDown instead of ESPN.
okay,
Hmm. It's been interesting because we know about the merger, we know what's happening, but I'm not sure what was going down where we really didn't like it wasn't sprung on us, but there was not a lot of not a lot of attention paid to this. You know what I'm saying? Like we just heard of okay, board of directors is going to be new, but this really is something different. It's like you said, Vince is not in charge. You actually have there is a collaboration with the UFC people. So, and my mind didn't even go to, oh wow, this will UFC go for a Peacock deal or a Fox deal. My mind didn't even go to there. So this will
I
be
Well,
think what's
the
I
interesting.
think what's
Peacock
really
deal
interesting.
is up next year.
Yeah,
The what?
I think what's
Um,
really interesting is that for the first time, Vince I think is ultimately going to have to answer to somebody. Not just the
mhm,
fans and not just public opinion and that kind of stuff, but actually someone that says, "Wait a second, if you're we can actually let you
Ari
go at this
Emanuel.
point." Like, I mean, potentially. I mean, I don't know what his contract says or what stipulations he has in there, but my guess is that Endeavor, if they want to, they can get rid of him if he starts becoming too much of a hassle, right? I mean, they've got to be able to have that option, I would think. Um, so yeah, I mean, it's interesting. And
So,
then as far as streaming deals go, it'll be interesting to see because I know Tony wants a streaming deal too, right? So where is
Mm-hmm.
a
as,
where's AEW
as
going to end up? Are they going to end up with their own channel, try to do something like WWE did before, and it's still doing internationally with the network? Or are they going to be on Max? Are they going to be on? You're not going to have Max and
well,
WWE or AEW and WWE on the same platform. So
aside from Disney, there are 3 other potential. You know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying.
Potential and
This is our news anchor, y'all.
Potential and suspicious are the words that I can't stand. Continue.
We know
We
what you
have
mean.
other potential buyers. One of them is Warner Brothers, which I think is unlikely,
Yeah.
but because like they have AEW, they can do more with that.
Right.
We also have Prime, Amazon,
Yeah.
which Amazon currently has one. So if they can get UFC as well in that, like Prime is going to be the destination to watch
There was a
professional
picture
fighting.
on Twitter of Triple H with the head of Endeavor and Jeff Bezos all somewhere. I forget where they were at, but they were at something together.
Fashion Week. It was
There you go. They were
Fashion
all
Week.
sitting together. There you go. So
That would be a big move. Big move.
It would, but for someone who's watched football on Thursday and did the Amazon Prime, the buffering, if they're gonna do something bigger than football, the buffering has to be better. Because Thursday football, I'm like, okay, why is this on a different channel? Because Prime is kicking my butt. I did not like
the
it.
fourth and final potential buyer is Apple, and it could be going to Apple TV.
My mind just went to I don't want to do another app. I don't need another app on my phone.
I mean, I guess it depends on what that looks like. Is Endeavor going to do something where so let's say we go to Apple, right? I mean, they're on Peacock now, but it's not 100% on Peacock. Like you can't just go and watch Raw on Monday night on Peacock, right? So,
right? No.
You can't. So is Endeavor going to put them on Apple and put Raw and SmackDown on Apple TV? I can't see that happening. I mean, then you lose a whole lot of subscribers, I would imagine, right? A lot of viewers. I mean, you're forcing people then to subscribe to Apple TV, which I guess isn't the end of the world, but I mean, I don't know. It seems like more people still have your traditional cable package to a certain extent, whether it's YouTube or DirecTV, even if it's a streaming package, where you get TBS, TNT, Fox, all those things. And so my guess is that both WWE and AEW, if given the option, still want to be on one of those major networks that are on those traditional, type of platforms, as opposed to being just on Apple TV. I mean, I guess it depends on who pays the most amount of money, but what?
The story goes deeper than that, because Apple is interested in buying Disney. Which Disney is interested in buying WWE. So all of that could come as a bundle.
Apple wants to buy Disney. Disney wants to buy Apple. Einhorn is Finkel. No. Finkel is Einhorn.
Conglomerations.
No. Disney wants to buy the TV deal with Endeavor, and Apple wants to buy Disney.
Interesting.
Now, this is all like speculation because...
it's all speculation.
And I say that because for the past couple of years, these deals with Fox and NBC Universal have worked. Like in my mind, or like it's been a lucrative way both ways. Everybody's making money, so I'm not sure how much Endeavor want to tinker with that. It's like if it's if it's profitable, why would you tinker with it unless you can get a better deal?
Yeah, I mean, if I'm Endeavor, I don't do a whole lot with WWE, right? They've been a thriving business for a long time. I mean, they have issues, don't get me wrong, and hopefully Endeavor fixes their downfalls, but they've been making money. They've been steadily making profit forever, right? I mean, so, I don't know. What do you think, CM? Where they're going to come out? What do you think about Endeavor finally taking over officially? I guess tomorrow, I suppose. What that means for Vince and his power. Obviously, we know he's still going to have a lot of say, but ultimately now it sounds like he's accountable to somebody else. And then Sammy was saying their TV deals are up in about a year. What do you think?
One, I don't watch WWE. 2, it's likely they'll keep USA as their partner network because that's been off and on for the majority of my life. So the past 30 plus years.
Yes, would be for Raw. I believe the TV deal that's up is SmackDown, not Raw.
Yeah. Okay. Endeavor is already with ESPN, which is with Disney. So depending on what they want to do, It depends on what they want to do with the SmackDown product. That's the way they go. If they want to do something more with it, they'll keep it on TV. If not, it'll probably go to Disney or ESPN Plus, and we'll probably get a pre-tape again.
Now, on to some bad news. We could be looking at the end of the PLE era. No more premium live events.
Meaning
WWE going back to pay-per-view, and you can buy the shows in a bundle with UFC cards. So like UFC on Saturday and then WWE on Sunday, and you get it for a lower price by buying them both.
They're not going to do that as long as they're partnered with Peacock. And Peacock is their partner through NBC Universal and USA. They're not going to be able to do that.
But the Peacock deal's up next year.
Potentially, but that's the only thing that's Peacock and Bravo shows are the only thing keeping WWE and the Bravo shows are the only thing keeping Peacock afloat. NBC do whatever they can do to keep that. So UFC is not going to see a better deal with bundling than basically holding NBC Universal hostage and being like, yo, give us all that we want for how we want this to be done. They're not gonna see a better return. Because let's be quite honest, UFC, it's good, but people are kind of falling away from UFC because their fighters do too much. It's a lot of controversy. It's just too much.
And as a wrestling fan, real quick, as a wrestling fan, that $9.99 for a whole month, like that's the only thing that got beat on AEW. That's the best thing that have beat on AEW because I have not bought an AEW pay-per-view yet because I'm sorry, $50. It's $50. It's $50.
Yeah.
I've bought the majority of them, and I will say it was $50 well spent because it's only like realistically it was only like $200 for the year because they only had 4. Now that they're adding more to it, I do see it going to Max. I definitely think that would help Max maximize like what they have because they've canceled a lot of contracts with different companies, like different writers and actors and things because they have it. So,
like I would no, like in this day and time, I would buy one, but they just be cutting me on the that Sunday, that week before. It's like, can y'all do it 2 weeks before when the check comes?
Nope. So Tony has said that All In and All Out are going to stay like that.
Yeah.
Because that's how he envisioned it. I don't know where he envisioned it, how he envisioned it, how premium it was when he envisioned it. I personally think that for their brand, if they're going to stay with TNT and CBS, putting it in Max would be a great idea. Because let's be quite honest, after that fiasco that was Velma, Max needs to make an overhaul. They canceled the Degrassi like revamp, and they have all the own shows, which a lot of people watch, so they go back and watch them again. But Max is not doing as well as it should be. No streamers really are, to be quite honest. But if they want to get most of their money and not have to pay a bunch of actors, AEW.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but their number 1 show is House of Dragon, the Game of Thrones spinoff.
I know it was.
Probably.
I don't know. Could be. I have no idea.
Yeah.
It was at one point. I don't know if it's still now.
The Fox deal, the reason why that wasn't renewed is because WWE did ask for a 50% increase in pay.
The what deal?
So it was like a $200 million a year to be on Fox.
Oh, okay.
They want 300 instead.
But Fox isn't seeing the returns. Let's be real and let's be honest. Fox isn't seeing the returns. They need the returns from the commercials. This has nothing to do with the show. It has everything to do with the commercials.
Fox has a bigger platform and can invite bigger and better things on there too. I mean,
but I will say this: Commercial wise, I'm not sure, but I think I haven't seen before before SmackDown was on Fox. I don't think they had anything good on Fridays for SmackDown. So I think there's a way to meet in the middle. Like 300 million sounds egregious. I'm not gonna lie, but like y'all gotta meet in the middle because I think before this they were showing reruns of Hell's Kitchen, and I wasn't watching that on Friday.
But question for y'all who watched the show: with them not having really kind of firm roster splits, with Endeavor coming in and no firm roster splits, do you think that for Fox it's beneficial? Like if Roman Reigns can pop up on Raw on Monday, is it really beneficial to pay more for him to be on SmackDown? You don't have Brock, you don't have Ronda.
Now that comes with the new storyline is Cody traded someone to SmackDown to get Jay on Raw. So not really sure who that person is. It has to be someone big. In my mind, the easiest one is Cody, right? Because Cody still wants that belt from Roman. That's the easiest one. To be less obvious, I would go with KO. Now, your question of is it still beneficial? I think so. Brock, I don't care. Roman is still pulling in those views. So that like last time Roman was on SmackDown, if I'm not mistaken, it was close to 2 million views. Period.
So if Cody is an EVP in WWE now?
Oh no! Okay. Real quick. So, So to Sammy's point, okay, sorry. Collect my thoughts. To ALW's point of what he was talking about, everyone's not being so tribalistic with other companies. That's a Vince thing because when Vince was gone, everybody wilding out, especially commentary. Because when that happened, that's what Michael Cole said. He was like, "Well, I guess Cody is stretching out his EVP skills. He was one in the other company." I'm like, "Wait, hold up, y'all is really wilding when Vince is not here." That's what Michael Cole said.
It's going to be interesting to see how long Vince lasts without having full control of WWE.
Because I'm like, y'all is wilding when Vince is sick. I love it, but y'all is wilding.
I'm curious how long or short of a leash he has with Endeavor and who he's actually accountable to. Like, does he actually have to report to somebody? I mean,
I think it's just only Emmanuel, and I don't know how hands-on he's actually going to be. Like, I think he's more towards marketing and getting the commercial revenue and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm just
like, as long as they don't screw up, he shouldn't have to tell them nothing. I think that's his mindset.
My wondering is how long will it be before Vince divorces all of his family and gets a whole new.
And that's what I wanted to say before we ended with the whole merger thing is like you've been vindictive, but like for us, like I'm gonna get just a little bit sensitive. Leaving a legacy to your kids, that's everything. Something for generations and generations. And you couldn't think past your own ego. Like,
he did what his daddy was gonna do.
Like, yeah, this merger puts you in charge, but you have nothing to leave. Like, having a company that's straight up your family that you can leave to your kinfolk, even if they just get a percentage of it, is a big deal. But you just it's an egotistical butt. That's all I want to say.
Exactly what his dad was going to do. Vince bought WWE or WWF from his dad after he proved that he could do it. His dad never had any intention on one, claiming Vince, and two, having Vince run the company. That wasn't something he thought about.
Well, I'm not about your dad, I'm about your children. I'm like, what did Stephanie and Shane do to you?
Well, he wanted Shane to raise the money and buy the company out from under him.
Or the grandkids.
Shane never could raise that money.
Well, Shane has the money.
Shane has that money?
Shane has the money. See, here's the thing when it comes to Vince and folks like Vince. This man The only one, he has 2 kids. The boy is more like his daughter. I mean, more like his wife. However, the boy is the only one who was able to leave the company and make something of himself outside of WWE. The daughter married a wrestler and had his company, but he ain't like how it was being ran. Given that there are rumors that Shane had the original idea for the black and gold NXT that we loved, he should have been the one in charge. However, because him and Vince butt heads, and he's not as vicious as Vince didn't want to leave it to him.
Like I said, you can dig the butt.
Undertaker.
Say it again.
Why do you look like the Undertaker?
I'm dressed as a news anchor.
It's Work Hard Wrestling News.
You look like the Undertaker back in the day when he was like the Western Dead Man.
The stripes.
Remember the tie that he used to wear, and then the overcoat. And like
only you. I wasn't thinking that till you said something.
That's
what he looks like. Am I the one?
No. Yes.
Look, now
Only
he's
you
gonna
thought of that.
Am
now
I
he's
the
gonna
only
go
one
change
who
his outfit
sees
because you
old
made him
Undertaker?
self-conscious.
He shouldn't be. Old school Undertaker was the best Undertaker. He was creepy ass shit.
So
He was the Western Dead Man.
I didn't think of it, but since you said it, like I was not thinking that. But now that you said it, I can't unsee it.
But if he starts rolling his eyes in the back of his head and smoking shit start coming out, I'm out. I know what's gonna happen. I watched it in the 90s. I don't need him popping up in my room.
So, Sammy, you got another story or what? Are we done with talking about the merger? What do we want to do?
Oh, I had another point, but I forgot what it was.
Well,
Does anyone have anything else they want to say about the merger?
Well, not so much of the merger, but I guess no, I'm good with the merger. I have another point, but it had nothing to do with the merger. I was gonna try to segue into it. There's no segue.
What about what do y'all think about Nia Jax coming back last night on Raw?
That's what I was gonna say.
All right,
Segue.
well, there you go. Segue.
WWE news break. No, so
they don't make those anymore.
So I was saying I was gonna try to say, like, is the merger influencing hiring and firing? Because I know it was a freeze, but now that Vince is no longer in control, if that's why Nia Jax is coming back, I was wondering if that was a reason. I'm not sure exactly, but was that a reason? Because I know they had a holding freeze on hiring people.
Right. So I guess the question I have is Endeavor going to be more transparent or less transparent than WWE's been over the years? Just kind of with the way it works and the way it operates, what's going on, who's hired, who's fired, all that kind of stuff. Just in general.
I have much choice in that.
With the exception of Matt Riddle, no.
They may not have much choice in that endeavor.
I didn't hear what you said.
They might not have much choice in that endeavor.
I can't believe I asked you to say it again to hear that.
I mean, they have a choice in it because the way his caption was written, leaves some gray area. But he had a very bad relationship with them in the beginning. Like, that's why he left UFC or MMA. So, yeah, I don't see it in the will. My other concern is for, like, Shayna, who UFC, like, they didn't see anything really with her, but she was far more talented. And now she has the personality and she has the charisma. So, yeah, most of the people that are going to be coming back have been rehired for at least 2 months, if not longer.
Okay.
So
Shayna was top 10 in her weight class for a decade.
So this is still kind of about the merger, but it's on topic of what we're talking about also. I mean, I haven't done enough reading about it, and maybe they haven't said enough, but is Triple H staying in control of creative through Endeavor, or is that...
Okay. So answer me this, because I know this whole thing was to keep Vince in charge.
Right.
So explain to me one more time. What's the relationship between with Endeavor and Vince specifically?
I honestly don't know. I'm not sure that anybody knows the exact terms. I know that they said that he was going to be able to still be in charge, and I think he still, is a share. He still owns shares of whatever in the, but that he hasn't redeemed, but that are now Endeavor shares, I'm sure, however that works. But he's not going to have, 51% control anymore. That's for sure. And he's not going to have control over the board, I would imagine, anymore, or whatever Endeavor uses as a board. I mean, I'm not sure. I'm not totally sure.
I asked because, I think the main thing we're all worried about is how much control Vince has, and more so because, in my mind, I have a little bit of hope, because when it was your own company, if you screwed up, you screwed up, right? If the ratings fell, the ratings fell. Whatever you can say about Triple H, the past couple of months, it's been steady good ratings. So if Vince McMahon does anything to mess that up, it ain't gonna be whatever. It's gonna be you gotta tell us what's going on, player.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing with Endeavor, and I don't know. Is Endeavor just gonna leave WWE? Okay, we own you, but just keep doing what you're doing, or do they actually want to put a hand in and say we want to be in? We want to put our people in somehow and be in, more involved in how it's going to be run and so on and so forth. That I don't know. I guess that remains to be seen. I guess we'll see that soon, but I guess that, so yeah, I mean, is Endeavor the one that wants to hire back Nia Jax, or was that a decision that was made? I mean, the sale's been pending for a while, right? So I would imagine that they were probably been talking about all these people that they're bringing back. I mean, again, it depends on how much Endeavor's involved in the talents and that kind of stuff. What do you guys think?
I think what you said makes more sense than anything. I think what this merger will probably do more is get UFC fighters who might be able to transition an easier transition than just, okay, I'm totally done with UFC, I'm going straight to wrestling. I think that's probably the most potent thing of all, if Endeavor puts their fingers into anything.
If they are able to find people in the younger generation like Brock Lesnar, it's easier for them to do both than it was previously, of him having to take months off and then do a fight and then come back and all that nonsense that happened.
Right.
That's probably
specifically about Nia. You happy she's back? Specifically Nia Jax. I'm happy she's back. I always like Nia Jax.
I have no bones of, everyone this a whole lot of hate and disdain. Pump your breath. She is not the only. And no offense, not throwing stones, but if everybody can if most people get over the whole Ridge Holland hurting Big E thing, you can't really say nothing about Nia Jax. No offense, she ain't never darn near in right now to be continued stop someone's career. So I can give her a pass on. I'm not a pass, but I can see what happens, because as a character, she does make good storylines, and she's interesting to watch.
I mean, she did, though.
Who?
Kairi Sane.
No. Kairi Sane still wrestling. Big E.
But WWE Medical never cleared her.
But no, they never cleared her. But she's still wrestling.
I don't think Kairi could come back, because I don't think WWE would clear her now.
But that's WWE. Her wrestling career is still going in Japan.
Because she left.
Kairi is supposed to be coming back in wrestling.
Daniel Bryan threatened to do years ago.
But again.
But if Kairi's coming back and she's going to be wrestling in WWE, isn't that a moot point right there?
When's Kairi coming back? I haven't heard of this.
Oh, no, yes.
That's been something that's been going on for the past month in the least, where her
coming up.
Contract is ending. She's coming back because she saw what they did with Io Sky, and she felt like they would actually invest in her this time.
And this was around time Vince was hurt, so that's why she just been more conversation. Like I said, even with that, like Big is different things because Big E, he can't go to AEW and say, "Hey, I think I'm okay." That's a serious no. That's like a serious injury where he is not ready. Unlike Kyrie, which is like she got concussed and someone else said she's medically cleared. I don't think Big E can go to some other wrestling company and say, "I'm good, let me try." He's not there yet, and that's what I'm saying.
Sriracha did.
We're not going to go there. We're not. we're not.
Not wrong.
You're not wrong, but is it worth it? Yes. Okay.
Another person, Mandy Rose.
Well,
she's coming back.
Mandy, she's hinting.
No.
She's hinting, and the thing about it is, yes, she's making. It's about with her. It's really about if she wants to do it or not, right? She's making bank on her OnlyFans, right? And so, and it's what I'm like. If wrestling is your dream, why not? Just like because you were a hot commodity in NXT, so if you want to do other meetings.
Well, here's the thing: I don't think Endeavor's going to care.
Maybe so.
So that goes with the policy.
Losing any sleep over whether she can. As a wrestling fan, I don't care if she comes back or not. I prefer she just stay gone. I was never impressed with her as a wrestler, anyhow. I mean, she could just keep doing whatever she's doing. Mandy Rose back.
I'm not losing sleep either.
For me, that's just my personal opinion.
No, I'm not losing sleep either. But like I said, if this is your dream and you like OnlyFans is just a side gig, like yeah, take the meetings. She has. In my mind, I think she has enough bank to at least be able to go to Impact. In my mind. She had enough bank and star power to go to Impact to actually rename herself. What was that face, Sammy?
Well, I'm just thinking like I think WWE was the only one that ever cared about somebody having an OnlyFans.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah.
Now, but I'm saying in ring wise, I don't think she's up to the caliber for AEW. If they want her, fine. But I'm like, but AEW, she needs to be better in the ring. And,
now, if Endeavor
for me, Impact is a perfect fit because her character can outshine her wrestling, and she might be a bigger star. Is what I'm saying.
So if Endeavor comes in and says, "Hey, the things that we're changing are the stuff that we didn't like, which is allowing wrestlers to do stuff on their own outside of WWE, WWE not being isolationist, let's do crossover stuff with all these other companies that want to do stuff," and they actually do that, then that changes the whole landscape of WWE and it makes it way more appealing in theory, right? So then you can understand why people would want to come back. And maybe that's what they're being told. I mean, I don't know. I mean, who knows? They've got to be being told something. I mean, I guess it could just be getting paid, which is something. But I mean, Mandy Rose is getting paid anyhow. So
I don't remember.
What do you mean, boys?
Huh?
Yeah, that comment.
Oh.
I don't remember.
And so, I guess she's typing, or yeah.
I'm wondering what she means because Paige Van Zandt decided to stop training. According to her trainer, she was doing like really, really, really good, and then she just didn't come back.
Well, she went and did bare knuckle for a bit, and she went and did bare knuckle for a bit, and I don't think that worked out well for her. And so,
when she had to be doing everything except for wrestling and like the online modeling or whatever, she was making way more money doing the online modeling without causing any harm to her body. So I wonder what she means by Endeavor cares, because I don't know what that means.
Now, do y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I was talking before nobody could hear me. Okay, so what happened was, first Endeavor cared. She wanted to start an OnlyFans before, and they told her she wasn't going to be able to. So when she decided to quit and start an OnlyFans, she went to AEW. So they do care about their top
OnlyFans.
Yeah. So the second thing was about the Endeavor thing, they people are not. They are going to eventually make you pay because that's what they did with UFC. They took it from a small pay-per-view thing, so maybe you paying $30-$40 because now a pay-per-view costs $80. You have to pay for ESPN in order to pay the $80 to watch the pay-per-view. So you're going through ESPN to pay for a pay-per-view.
ESPN trip.
And they did it to Dana White. They came in, we're gonna work together, and then they just pushed them to the side and started doing what they wanted to do.
Which I think is gonna be the thing. We're not gonna have premium live events anymore. It's gonna be
here's the thing.
Try it if you want to.
Have guaranteed revenue every single month because UFC at the time wasn't fighting like big things every single month. If you have fans who are going to pay at least $9.99, and Peacock is going to be going up in price to however much, if you have that guaranteed money every single month, I don't think you're going to start adding premium. You're going to start adding pay-per-views because your base is going to dwindle because that's at least 12, if not more pay-per-views at $50-$60 a pop. In a recession, ain't nobody gonna be able to pay for all that. And yes, they might.
You'll just get more people bootlegging them.
You might try to do a bundle deal with UFC, but what's going to end up happening with that is WWE fans and the UFC fans are not that big of a crossover. Being real and being honest.
As long as the pay-per-view is extraordinarily or exorbitantly priced, there's always going to be a free way to find it, and more people will just bootleg it.
As long as the pay-per-view is over $5.
Well, there is that too.
I mean, if you look at it, Peacock lost a lot of people when it switched to $9.99. Most people don't remember it used to be free. And when they first got there, it was free because if you had cable, they just gave it to us free. When they said, "Oh, we're gonna change it to $9.99," everybody's like, "It ain't worth it."
Unless you were a WWE fan.
Said that, and then they ended up coming back because of WWE. And
or they got all the WWE fans that weren't on Peacock before. Now had to merge over.
Honestly, as a young person, you can get a whole WWE show on the internet when it drops at the end of the day. You already know who won, what happened. You can see the match. It is done. You don't need to pay $9.99 to see that.
So
that's what the older people are paying $9.99.
And when it comes to it being free, I looked at my Xfinity bill when it was free, and it was not free. They increased in other places.
Streaming services.
I pay $9.99 now, and they still will go up. Xfinity just gonna go up. They're gonna find a way. I mean, I ain't never in my life understand why I got to pay for 911. I don't understand that. I thought that was just a free number I could call if I needed help. But they charge you.
I don't have that.
See what? See.
Yeah, I never had their phone services. That's why the good Lord invented Google Voice and cell phone. I'm not paying
Let's
for
say
it. So
Amazon buys the streaming rights.
Well, Amazon already has.
You would get the video library and you'd get the documentaries with Prime, and the pay-per-views. You would have to shovel out money each month for the pay-per-views.
But with Amazon right now,
included with Prime.
You're paying for. Amazon gives you so much free stuff. Mm-hmm. How hard is it to tell your customers, I'm giving you everything free right now, but you're going to pay a little extra on the inside? Nobody's going to really do it. A lot of people, they're in a pocket. Once you start something, it's hard to take it back. It's hard for me, and I can even say it's a show I love right now. I love it. It's free. Then they say, "Oh, we're gonna move to Patreon. We're gonna charge you $10." I'm like, I'll never watch that show again. Cause it was free, it was engaging. I can give you my view, I can give you my like. But once you asking me to pay for it, it's like, is it really worth it? Because I
don't think that Amazon would be getting the money for the pay-per-views.
And maybe that show isn't worth it to you, Dolores, but not unfortunately, there are a lot of wrestling fans and a lot of dedicated WWE fans that it is going to be worth it to.
And a lot of people have Prime already anyways.
But see, Prime, that's what I'm saying. If you got Prime, and let's say you paying $10 or $6.99 I mean, for people who got other things going on in life, $6.99 for it, and you're barely making it. But Prime is what you get the food deliveries from, or you get to watch certain things for free. It's difficult to get them to go up. That's why they have so many months where you get free trials for things, because they're trying to get you to get these other services on their platform, and nobody wants to get them.
But
So
all they would
basically,
be doing is adding the documentaries and the video library. So anything that's a month old will go onto Amazon Prime. That's
so
what it would be.
basically, Endeavor, your job is not to mess it up. You have merged with a great company who is a cash cow in areas where money is depleting. So in the words of Hitch, aka Will Smith, she already said no. She already said yes when she could have said no. So it is not your job to impress her. It is your job not to mess it up. Just sit back and let it go.
Endeavor's gonna mess it up because they did it. They're doing it with UFC. You've turned so many people against it because, I mean, honestly, I used to get UFC pay-per-views. I used to watch it constantly. And now I'm not gonna pay I already gotta pay Hulu to get into ESPN to pay them $80.
You know what?
Sometimes it's more than $80 for a show where somebody might get knocked out in 2 seconds and I don't get none of my money back.
We're gonna talk about Hulu.
That's what I'm saying. They're gonna do the same thing with WWE.
No, side note, I'm gonna do a 30-second rant. Cause Hulu gonna stop with this foolishness, okay? I done cut my cable for you because you was cheap. Now you just creeping back up to being like just the amount of the price as cable. Watch yourself. Because I will go to DirecTV streaming. I will go to Fubo. I will go to Sling. It is a bunch of streaming services that's only $69.99. Oh, but Hulu TV. So watch yourself, Hulu. I'm just saying. No, I said Hulu. No,
I think
YouTube TV.
Oh no, you don't want that either.
If we didn't do live watch alongs, I wouldn't have Hulu TV.
Listen,
honestly, yeah.
ALW can tell you on cable, I think the NFL package was like $50. YouTube TV bought it and it's almost $299. Ain't nobody.
Because DirecTV bumped it up.
On DirecTV, it was always outrageously expensive. It was always $3 or $4.
And so I had it for a while, and then all of a sudden it come to YouTube, and then you gonna tell me, if you get the YouTube TV package, you can get this package. It's gonna be about $300. But you know what? We're gonna give you a discount, $50 off. What the? I don't need that. You know what?
Me buy stuff that I don't want to buy.
I'll continue to look at Red Zone for like less than $15. That's just fine for me.
Sunday NFL ticket has always been extremely expensive, no matter what app or where it's been. It's ridiculous. It's always been.
All right.
Who else has been hired and fired, Tim? You got other names?
Sonny Kiss.
Fired, yeah.
Hired was the ALP. They've been hired for like 2 months. They're just waiting on their time to come back. And it was
ALP, yeah.
I was going to mention, I don't know if you're aware, Hulu did increase their prices.
I got the email, October $89.99.
Right?
My thing is October. No, it said October.
September. Okay.
Oh no, it's October.
Mm-hmm. You pay for the year and you pay the increase when you pay for the extra.
Mm-hmm. But we're gonna do this, okay? Because I don't know why you're gonna make me pay for Disney Plus. Ain't nobody trying to watch Low Key season 2. I did not care. I don't care about Marvel like that. I don't care about Disney. What?
No, what you will not do is disrespect Disney Plus like that.
I will. Yes, I will.
Just buy your Hulu and go.
I'm trying. That's what I'm saying. Hulu is making me buy Disney.
The Disney bundle.
I steady watch Disney, so I can't. Yeah, I'm with you.
I'm a Disney Plus, and I'm gonna be happy with my Bluey and growing emotionally while I watch my damn Bluey. You can sit over there.
Listen. My grandson absolutely loves Bluey, but My grandson absolutely loves Bluey, but here's the truth of it. The other night, my grandson was asleep, and me and my wife were watching it, just the two of us in bed.
Because it's
We
a
were
damn
watching.
good show. It
Now
is
is
one
Bluey
of
on now?
those.
But see, is Bluey on who on Disney Plus or on Disney Channel? Cause I have
It's
Disney
on
Channel.
Disney Plus. It's
It's on
not on
Disney
See,
Disney
see, I don't
Channel.
care about Disney Plus like that. For
Then
who to
don't
be
buy
making me
it.
buy this?
Buy Hulu. You don't
Yeah, because I think
That's
it's
what I'm
so
saying.
bad for
No,
you.
no, no. You're not understanding. Hulu is making me buy it. It's now part of the bundle. I can't.
You
I
don't
can't
have to buy the
detach
bundle.
it.
Just buy Hulu. Don't
I
buy
can't. I can't.
Buy
That's
Hulu.
what
I
I'm
think they
saying.
got it now because I think I saw it the other
Buy
day.
Hulu.
What they got it now? Where if you get Hulu, you have to get it with ads. If you get the bundle, you don't have no ads. So
Then
you have
just
a choice
watch
of getting
the
the
ads.
bundle.
See, y'all are paying
Just
attention to
watch
the
the
wrong
commercials.
thing.
Girl,
I
you
don't
was
want
a
to buy.
90s kid. You are
Like,
a 90s kid. You used to commercials. Tell
no,
me
no,
that.
I don't care about commercials. I'm saying bump Disney Plus and bump, definitely bump ESPN Plus. I don't know what the freak they thought that was going to do. Like ESPN streaming service. I'm like, sirs, this is not worth the money. I don't know why y'all thought this streaming service was
Like
going to make
10
you
bucks.
money, but it's not. Yeah, thank God.
Don't
They better
disrespect
thank.
women's softball and bowling on ESPN Plus, goddammit.
Cause that's all it is. That's all it is on ESPN Plus. There's nothing more. Like,
ML,
why
yeah,
y'all
it's
thought this
ML.
was a good
It's ML.
idea?
It's a lot of MLS soccer games, is what it is on
Like, why y'all
ESPN
thought
Plus.
this was a good idea?
Yeah, there's a lot.
I like
But
National
Disney, I watch
Geographic.
Disney all the time, so with them, without like.
You
That
also
that's the thing
had
I would say about Disney Plus. I like National Geographic.
Yeah, yep.
Sorry, back to wrestling.
Selena De La Renta came back for MLW. I
She
think they
did.
just bringing back what's it Lucha Underground all back together. Because Quato's supposed to be coming back this year too.
Well, good. They need something to make MLW more appealing.
So I'll say this. What's his name? Jacob Bob. No, not Jacob. The other one. Umaga's son is no longer
Della.
with reality wrestling, which
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
interesting. I'm like, ooh. So is he a free agent or like all they said was irreconcilable differences, and I'm
Right.
like, he was not. I'm not like indie wise. I think he was a hot commodity, so that was interesting to me.
They also noted SRS said that Deanna Prazo's contract is set to expire at the end of the year.
Ooh, interesting.
I don't see her going to anywhere except for potentially New Japan / Stardom. Because if she's watching, like I think she's watching, then the North American scene really isn't that good for anybody for them except for an Impact and AAA and New Japan.
NXT.
I mean, she's been in WWE for and she already had a small little stint there before. And
She went to somebody said NXT. She went to NXT. She was better. She was just as good as she was before in NXT. However, because of other bullshit, she got kicked out unceremoniously without really a big match.
Yep.
Mm.
So that was unsuccessful for whatever millions of reasons. So yeah, I mean, my guess is that if Impact's smart, if she still wants it, it's just about money, they'll get there. I mean, because she's a valuable part of that division, and it's the best, it's the best women's division in wrestling probably. So I can't imagine they want to lose her if they have an option to keep her. They'll probably do whatever they can to try to keep her. So.
And more so get more women, because I think with Impact, it's about growth. You don't want to keep fighting the same people.
Sure.
So if Impact can just get like maybe 3 more new faces for people to interact with, that would be very beneficial to them.
When we were talking about the merger, that's what I was forgetting today. Sean Ross Sapp had like a video where he talked to EA, and they said that in the possible upcoming game they would probably put the UFC in the WWE game. But you wouldn't have to make your own graphics; they would just already be there.
Interesting. So now we're gonna get Roman Reigns main eventing for the title at a UFC event, right? We're gonna get
No.
you're gonna get
they
wrestling WWE pay-per-views together at the same exact show, right? So you'll have 2 wrestling matches and 2 MMA matches on the card.
It's going to be a very interesting thing if they do something like that. So then people can stop bitching and moaning about WWE being fake and predetermined, and can realize that anything that you can bet on is fake and predetermined.
Thank you.
You can put Rhonda and Shayna back together just for a real fight this time.
No.
Rhonda's not coming back. She's trying to have another kid.
Thank God.
What I think it is that they're gonna do the bundle where you get one on Saturday and the other on Sunday.
Right. Oh, I'm sure. I want to see Conor McGregor versus Roman Reigns.
No.
Let's see it. Give it to me.
The only that was boxing. The only crossover where it actually worked was Floyd Mayweather versus Big Show. That was the only time. Everything else looked stupid. Riddle in the fight pit hasn't been
so Big Show on his knees didn't look stupid.
No, because he was like, "Give me one more."
He was talking that shit. He was like, "Yeah, you got fast feet and fast hands, but I'm a fucking giant. I'm gonna whoop your ass." That seemed like something that could happen. And then Floyd gave him that 2-piece real quick, and they handed him a biscuit along with it. If it had not been for Shane, I don't know if Floyd could have ran as fast as he needed to run.
I got 3 examples for y'all.
What?
Mike Tyson with DX. Muhammad Ali versus Antonio Inoki.
Okay.
And y'all are gonna say that I'm wrong for this, but the finale of the Brawl for All.
So what you're saying is bump UFC.
Butterbean.
Boxing, and it's not bump UFC. Boxing and wrestling is a better combination than mixed martial arts and wrestling. That's what you're saying.
So I guess let's get to the main topic of the night, since we want to wrap this up fairly quickly here. Let's talk about what Bryan Danielson has said, which is that this might perhaps be his last year.
I don't want to.
Going to be his last year.
No.
So I told y'all, Sammy tried to say it's the middle of his career, and
Nico
was like, "Oh, we're really on the downside." Yeah, motherfucker, he's 6 months away from quitting. God damn! I tried to tell y'all.
Hey! Number one, the cussing's not necessary. Number two, we were all, no, I'm playing with you. Number three, we were all hyped after the strap match. That was a great strap match, and when he was on when he was on the ramp hyping himself up, he looked like he was having a good time. He looked like he wanted to do this forever. And you know what? I have a theory. I think Bree.
Don't put her on blast.
No.
Don't put poor Birdie on blast.
No, not Birdie. I think Bree did. I think Bree saw him having fun too, and she mom guilted him. So when he got home, she was like, "Oh baby, I know you had a good time, but remember what you promised our Birdie, our daughter? You know she's turning 7, and you said you promised her that when she turned 7, you retire." I think he forgot. I think Birdie forgot that he made her that doggone promise. I blame Bree.
I would normally say that it's so wrong to blame the woman for this, but they did do an interview before he came back, and she kind of did say it like that. And she kind of hinted it like when he said, and then I realized I broke my arm, and she was like, "Yeah, that was horrible. You shouldn't have done that." And I was like, "Oh yeah," but on top of that, you have to admit, every time he has like a super great hard hitting match, he's injured right afterwards, and then we gotta wait for some more time until he can come back. So maybe it is time for him to just spend time with his family.
Wait. First off, that's not what mom guilt is. First off. Second of all, I get wrestling fans want Bryan Danielson to last a long time, but this man has 2 small children. I'm pretty sure he would like to be active in their lives, and I'm gonna be the one to say it. Does anybody want another Chris Benoit?
That is, oh my God. Dang, God, it.
You have on your conscience because anything can happen, and we don't know what that man. His career was, as much as I don't like WWE events, his career was rightfully halted because the man had a damn seizure on television. He had a seizure. I don't know if y'all have ever been around seizures. I've been around them for adults and for kids. It is terrifying.
Yep.
And
That
in that one match,
in front
he
of all
pretended to
the
have one,
streamers,
and I was
he
pins
had
and
it
needles at home, just like, oh no, oh
on
no.
camera. On camera. Are y'all, like, as wrestling fans, we are selfish people. Are we going to be
Yes.
there to help Bree take care of Birdie
Definitely
and
not.
Buddy?
Yes.
Are we? No, the fuck you're not.
No, you're
No, the
not.
fuck you're not.
And
You're.
you know,
It's gonna be.
but
It's just gonna be just like what people are gonna do with Bray Wyatt's kids and what they have been doing for the past few, ever since he passed. They'll give some money, talk shit, and move on.
And
Brian
you
I
know,
Danielson will
listen,
be 50 years old with the brain of an 80-year-old, don't know nothing about his kids, and his kids will miss out on the fact that he was a very present and loving father because we all wanted him to be on wrestling a little bit more. Fuck
and
this shit.
I
Be
agree
with
with
your
that
family, be
100%.
with your kids. Tony has already told him. He told his dad, if anything happens to me, Brian Danielson needs to run this company, not the elite, not John Moxley, not any of these great business minds that we have. Brian Danielson. So thank goodness Phil had a fucking temper tantrum when he did. And now we have Collision on track with someone whose ego is not so massive that it will overshadow the show, and it will allow him to have work-life balance where his wife does not have to do everything and worry about the potential of her husband coming to her as a vegetable or worse.
Well, and that's the
and
thing, right?
I'm
So,
no
so
no.
things change, right? So, like, when you meet somebody and it's early on in a relationship and maybe you don't have kids and things are great. You love that your man's a wrestler, you're a wrestler, that's your path, that's what you're on. And 15 years later or 10 years later, you've got two kids and you're not wrestling anymore. And now you want your spouse to help you because shit's hard. I mean, raising kids on your own is hard, and you're worried about your spouse at the same time because he's already been out of wrestling, had a major injury, could get injured again at any given time. And so I mean, I understand it. I mean, shit changes. What you're okay with 5 years ago might not be what you're okay with today, and that's just the way life evolves, right? And that's not a spouse's problem or an issue with anything. That's just the way life evolves.
But
And you're right. As fans, we're selfish and we want more. And he's already given us more than enough. He wasn't. He was. We didn't think he was ever coming back, and now he's given us what, 4 more years or 3 more years, whatever it's been since he came back. I mean, what more do we want? I mean, we don't want to see him die in the ring, right? And now we complain. We complain because too many guys stay too long. We're tired of seeing Ric Flair, but yeah, we want Brian. I mean, and I get there's a huge
Ah.
difference. I get there's a huge difference, but what I'm saying is that where do you draw the line? So you encourage him to stay now, but when he's 55, it's too much. When it's 60, it's too much. You still love Sting at 63 coming to the ring. So when is it too much? When are you willing to say, okay, you can go ahead and retire, and we're just okay with it? And these guys can
Okay.
go on and have their own lives.
Now
The
I
thing
no,
that flabbergasts me with Daniel Bryan is the fact of him being so humble. Like, boy, do you not understand, like, the great things that you've accomplished? You can have a little bit of pride. You've earned
oh
it
yeah.
a little bit.
Anika, what have you been trying to say?
No, like now I'm playing. Believe me, I do not
We
want
know.
any of
We
that
know.
to happen. I am playing. Now, I'll say, yeah, for all no, the worst, I never want the worst for anyone. I am playing. I think I've been playing ever since Daniel Bryan came to AEW. I felt like low key, him and Brie had this conversation of, okay, baby, you can wrestle, but you can't have the belt. That's why they never gave him the belt. Oh, baby, you can wrestle, but if you break two bones in your body, you're coming behind home. In my mind, Brie has called Tony Khan 5 times every time he's gotten hurt and then gone off like a mama bear. But
but most people forget that she sacrificed a lot as far as like she said on the show when they first talked about him not wrestling anymore. That was something that they knew he had a problem with, him and Bree, but she would have to watch him at night and stay up. She would have to worry about him in the ring because he didn't want to tell WWE. And that was something that she had to hold, that A could have lost her job, but B, she also had to stay up and watch him and take care of him. Even in AEW, he's broke a bone. She has to take care of kids and take care of her husband. So it's like, if you can prevent the load on me, I would appreciate it. Stay your butt still. So I will let you have it to the end of the year. Party like a rock star. Go out like a shining star. But don't mess up your life where it's me and your kids are affected by it. I think wrestlers forget that they have a family sometimes, or they like, I just working for my family. I'm getting money for my family. And they forget that in the end, you're going to end up in a chair with your wife pushing you, and you can't do nothing for yourself when you could have stopped 10 years ago. That's what I scream about Tanahashi all the time. Please stop. Please stop. I'm tired of seeing you on the top rope. Please stop.
Kids don't understand money, and money can never make up for time that's missed by parents. They just can't. Children they don't understand the concept. All they know is you're not there. And that the impact that has is just it just is what it is. I mean, it's enormous.
Kids understand money. Let's never underestimate that. Kids,
well, maybe when they get a little bit older, but not the difference between how important money is in comparison to relationships or spending time.
They understand the concept of money in relation to Target. Like, is it a can I have like this small little egg day?
Right. Sure,
can I have this $70 fucking magic mixie type thing?
Right.
But Anika, I don't want you to think that I'm speaking to you. However, I'm speaking in general to wrestling fans because I'm very sick and tired of seeing like that shit up there. Also, I can guarantee Birdie remembered because she's like, "Ooh, when Daddy retires, am I going to have to use this compost toilet or this easy to flush toilet? What do I have to use? Do I have to pretend like we don't use this one because he's here, or am I like what's gonna happen?" But he's smart, and I can appreciate Tony for this. The people that are in the front office, like the people who have dual roles or whatever, they're employees. So that means they're getting 401ks, they're getting all this stuff, which means they don't have to wrestle as much anymore. They can kind of be like a Colt Cabana, because Colt Cabana really set it up for independent wrestlers if they were smart. You got different streams of revenue. You can save up your money. You don't have to wrestle as much, which means you can have a higher rate because now you're a special attraction and go from there.
Yeah, I mean, we complain a lot about Tony Khan, but and it, obviously, it's rightful. It's rightfully so. At the same time, I do think that he wants something better for the world of professional wrestling and for wrestlers in general. I think that he has. It comes from a better place. Like, I think Vince is just an asshole who just wants to make money and be whatever. Whereas I think Tony actually appreciates wrestling, likes these guys. He has friendships with these guys. He wants to do stuff to help these guys. Now, obviously, he has other flaws, but I think he's coming at most of this stuff from at least a good place. I mean, that's the impression I get.
And more so, like, I am happy that he announced it. We have a year to get all the dream matches we want. I'm pissed more so because the whole beating war of 24, he should have held that AEW championship once. I'm like, he should have held it at least once. It didn't need a long reign, maybe a month, and then drop it. But yeah, let him beat MJF once and let him hold the belt. Like, come on.
But who's to say that he won't? Most AEW fans did not have MJF winning the championship until maybe around this time or 2024. Nobody thought he would be ready for it. Nobody really thought that Hangman's freaking reign would end the way that it ended. Nobody thought Moxley would have to Okay, hold on.
Mox
And
is
there's
third
just so
reign.
many things that could happen. They have so many people. I say this with very much sincerity. Most of the male wrestlers and some of the female wrestlers have the potential to hold that belt, and it would work. Shit, even Nick Jackson could hold it if it could work. For the simple fact of he's that damn good as a singles competitor. FTR Ball, don't like him, but he could hold the championship for at least 2 weeks. They need some transactional champions in there.
If this is his last year, who do you guys want? How many matches do you think he wrestles in the next year? And we already know he's wrestling Zack Sabre Jr. at Wrestle Dream. But after that, who do you think, who would be your ideal picks for him to wrestle as his final couple, 3, 4, 5 matches?
Definitely Kenny Omega 3. You definitely need to nip that. You definitely need to. That might be the finale. If I'm booking it, that should be the finale that should be his last match. If I'm booking it,
can we get Danielson Ospreay in the next year?
I mean that. Oh, we have to get that match.
Him versus Jay White. Yeah.
What else, Sammy? Who else you think, Sammy? Or who else you want?
I mean, you want the realistic answer or the idealistic answer?
Both.
The realistic answer is he's probably going to have a match with Wheeler Yuta before he goes.
I wouldn't mind that.
Yeah.
I was thinking Moxley. But I like Yuta. Because Yuta Danielson is definitely his kid.
Yeah. No. Let him definitely. Ooh, him versus Claudio. That'll be, yeah.
So a breakup so he breaks up or separates himself from the BCC and ends up fighting all of them at some point over the next year?
More so like a last teaching lesson. This is my last lesson to you all. Even though I do love that, TK said if anything happens, leave the company to him. I want them to build that BCC dojo. I want that to be the next Heart Dungeon somewhere, wherever he is. And then have sporadic promos.
CM has already told y'all. BCC is a gang. You come in, they jump you, they beat you up, make you bloody. You want out, they jump you, they beat you up, and they make you bloody.
Yeah, but we just need a place for it. Just rent out. Not even rent out.
They got a place.
Buy out someplace.
Y'all ain't been paying attention. Y'all really ain't been paying attention. The NXT parking lot is the BCC day.
It's in my mind, I want 5 years from now when he's retired, have someone coming to AEW all lost, and then Moxley being a cut, be like, I know you can go, and then he go and then they're going through the woods, and then you see this little trail, and then there he is, Ringo and Danielson, just beating up a little kid with Zack Sabre Jr. in the background saying, "You're doing it wrong." I just want that 5 years ago. I just want that from there from now. That's what I want. I want that for my life.
Yo. What if we end up with Zack Sabre Jr., like a weird type of faction with Zack Sabre Jr., Will Ospreay, Yuta, and Daniel Garcia?
I wouldn't mind that. I would definitely think Ospreay and Sabre Jr. will be they keep saying Zack Sabre Jr. That's better to say. It's just a Guy Ritchie villain. So I would love to see him and Ospreay just be in the cut saying stupid stuff before a match.
Okay, there's something that hasn't been pointed out, but Wheeler Yuta's teacher was Drew Gulak. And where is Drew Gulak right now? With William Regal's son.
In NXT? Hey. I need William Regal's son to grow up and be on TV, so we can go back into the BCC. Because
Charlie
what?
Dempsey is on TV.
No, I'm saying main roster. Because wasn't that the deal that Regal wanted to train his child, and then when he gets big, or he retires, something like that.
He just wanted to work with his son.
So yeah. So I need him to be a star already, so he can come back to the BCC. But yeah, it's like, even though they wrestled after their retirement, the best wrestling ending stories of Ric Flair and HBK, it should be something to that caliber. It should be that huge. It should be well thought out. And
Yeah.
I will save my money to go to one of these shows.
As much as I'm going to miss Bryan Danielson, I don't want to see him be Ric Flair. I don't want to see him be Sting. I don't want to see him be
Stop saying Sting!
in the ring at 66, or PCO, or Tim Storm, or any of these guys that are, Chris Jericho's, that are 55, 55-year-old guys that are still in the ring wrestling. I mean, I don't,
There's levels to this. There's levels to this.
To be quite honest with y'all, I feel like everybody could reasonably walk away from wrestling and still be okay. Like your PCO, your Sting, your Jericho, they could all walk away from wrestling, and it would be a part of them missing. But they have family they could back up on. Ric Flair doesn't have that.
Yeah.
Ric Flair,
that really is a difference.
He clings to wrestling because that is all he has. And to be quite honest, Charlotte is going down that same path.
That's another story for another time. Because I'm hoping I'm hoping the rumors aren't true. I really hope the rumors aren't true, because they looked happy together. I'm hoping this is just a whole we gonna separate. So because it's a
Which
business
face look
decision.
happy? Are you talking about face like 5'6" or 7'8"? Which face are we going with that look happy?
The one who got married to Andrade. They looked happy together.
6. She's
5
on
and 6.
She's on 8 now.
See, so I don't pay attention. So they're separating.
Yeah,
Potentially,
they've been like that for
It's
months.
a thing.
that's what they're
hoping
saying. The rumor is that they're separating. They unfollowed each other, took like wife and husband out of their bios. I feel like Andrade may be trying to get out of his contract with AEW.
Yeah.
So he doesn't want them to have that leverage over him. So he told her to take that out, so he has more wiggle room instead of having to go back to WWE or stay with AEW. He can go other places. I don't know. I'm hoping. I don't like her as a person, but I don't want her to keep going through heartache and trauma.
Yeah.
I don't want her to be like her father, where all she has is wrestling. She's still young enough to do other things. I want her to be able to have a life outside of wrestling and to have love outside of wrestling. Because he really has nothing. His identity is Ric Flair because he doesn't want to look back at the trauma that his life has been.
Yeah.
Since he was born.
100%
Since he was
agree with
born.
that.
Yeah. And it's dark. I don't want to bring the mood down, and I don't want it to be dark, but Sting could go and he could be okay.
Yeah.
PCO, as much as crazy shit as PCO has done, he could literally step out of the ring and hold workshops on how to make a character that can grow and develop over decades, over companies, whatever. Everybody else could do that. But you got Ric Flair. You cannot let it go.
Yeah.
Man said that he fell asleep in the middle of his match because his body gave out.
Yep.
And still wants to fight.
It's just like, bruh.
He wants to die in the ring.
Like I said, when you are 95, hopefully if you hit 95, we will roll you on your deathbed in the ring and pull the plug on you. If that's really what you want to do. You don't have to actually actively try to die in the ring.
I mean, I don't know. It's such a fine line, right? It's one of those things because, like, when it's your passion and all you've known your whole life, like, and the difference is that it's a physical endeavor, so it's different, right? But like, no one's suggesting, well, maybe they are because he's, whatever, but nobody's suggesting that aged rock and rollers retire or that you're too old to go, that the Rolling
Yes,
Stones
they
are too
do.
old to tour. Most people aren't. As long as you're still alive and able to do it for the most part physically, they're still out doing it. And most people still go to their shows and aren't really complaining about it. Like, not the way they do about athletes and stuff. And I get that it's a different thing. So, I mean, it's a fine line. Like, I don't want to see anybody die in the ring, obviously. I especially don't want to see Ric Flair die in the ring. And at the same time, as a human being, you have a right to do whatever you want to do, right? And if wrestling's your passion and someone will fucking give you a check in a ring to do it in, that's what you're gonna do, right? And if that's, who am I to say no, don't do that? Like, I'm myself and I can see that, but like, I don't have any bearing on anything. Like, I have no right to tell him what to do or anything. And as long as someone's willing to let him do it and he wants to keep doing it, who's to stop him? But at the same time, it's tough because you don't want to see that, and you definitely don't want something bad to happen. You want to help these people. You want to try to save people from themselves, and at the same time, you can't do that, right? Because everyone has a right to do whatever they want to do too. So I don't know.
You can be
There's no
90
easy
and go
answer.
up on stage, and people will pay the tickets and go and watch you and have a good time. But
Absolutely.
if you can't remember any of the words and you're passing out on stage, then they're concerned about you and
Yeah.
they're not having a good time, and then they want you to stop and just live comfortably and
Sure.
not be doing this anymore.
Yeah.
And that's
That's
why,
fair.
and that's more so of a, not gonna say an ego thing, but an ego thing where like you can see, like with Danielson, I can see him being perfectly happy in his dojo training other people, or behind the scenes and writing. You could look at HBK. He is loving his life. I don't think he gives a crap about the main roster. He's like, just leave my NXT alone. Like, honestly. So like for Ric Flair, I wish he did find solace in training younger people, or for making your own company, or helping another company succeed. You don't have to be in the ring to wrestle to enjoy this business. There's other avenues. You don't have to. Like, it
I'm not
really
saying,
is.
but what is other than like being a good talker? What can he teach them? I mean, his basic moves are flipping over the top of the rope, falling face down on the ground, and doing the figure four, which most of everybody can do. Just basically, I mean, look, kids can do it at home.
Well, I'll say this: when he's hurting. He look like before he was 60. He was a good seller. And that's hard, and like that's a very important trait that I need people to understand, because
Yeah, I don't buy that at all. I think Ric Flair has a ton of knowledge
like
still.
females screaming after they get hurt. I'm like, that is not real selling. If you get hit with a chair, you're not going to be screaming like you, like the girl from Scream or
But
Final
do
Destination.
you trust him to teach younger people the correct things to do in the business? Or do you think he wants them to have a good time and go party like a rock star? I mean, that's like
He,
having Ted Bundy teach somebody how to be charismatic. You don't want them to do it because he's going to teach them other things too.
Ric Flair did teach one person, Paul Lee. I don't know if y'all watched Talking Shopomania. Nature Boy Paul Lee.
I thought you were going to
He's
say
a millionaire who paid a bunch of money to Rick to teach him how to wrestle, and he goes out as the Nature Boy.
And what
I
has
really
he
thought
gotten
you
his
were going to say
work
Randy
from?
Orton. I thought you were going to say Randy Orton.
He didn't train Randy. He went to
No.
strip clubs and drinking with Randy.
You see,
not
that's
training.
He trained him
yeah.
in something. It might have been wrestling, but he
No,
trained
no, no,
him
no,
how
no,
to
no,
do
no.
something.
He taught him how to be a good cheater
Yeah.
and hooked him up with a great divorce system.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're at the end of our little segment. Hold on, I'm gonna drop Sammy, drop a nigga, drop LLW. Because I love CM. And she does her clown of the week. And the past few clowns have been really scary. And then I had a vision. And I thought a lot of the clowns of the week are people who show their butt. And so then I thought of this. CM's clown of the week. They like to show their butt. All the time.
I really don't. But you don't have to do those. It doesn't ever. It doesn't fit the flow. Clown of the week. What is it? Fourth week in a row? Goes to CM Punk fans. All right, let me phrase that. his cult. Yes, I'm going to call it what it is. I have never, in my 32 years on this earth, seen so many people coddle a grown-ass man. You have people literally calling for Jungle Boy to get fired for doing the shit that CM Punk did. Still. Because CM Punk got fired. Then you got people saying that Collision will get canceled because viewership, even though it went up this week, it's not going to be as high as it should be because, Punk. If your hometown turns against you, people, maybe it's you. Maybe it's not the company. It just might be you if the entire, the 90% of the hometown crowd goes against you. So that's one clown of the week. Other clown of the week goes to the fans who are upset that Nia Jax came back because of her political views. But they watch WWE. Can you hold a more high ground when you watch something in which the main person running the company for decades has as many allegations as Vince has? Ranging from like everything, except for cannibalism. We did not have cannibalism that we know about. So can you hold a more high ground? One of your biggest champs that you folks go up for willingly dated a Nazi, had her on TV, brought her on vacations for suspensions that he got for being with her, and people cheer for him. Never issued an apology, never did any corrective action. Oh, it's because she botches. Most of your favorites do. Oh, because she hurts people. Most of your favorites do. What's your real problem? But let's sit down and discuss it. Last clown of the week has nothing to do with wrestling. Goes to the people who deliberately try to undermine people's stories about harm that was done to them because it makes them feel better. It costs nothing to be a decent human. Be decent humans, folks. If MJF can be a decent human sometimes, so can you. But yeah. Clowns of the week goes to CM Punk's cult. Goes to people who are just mean for no reason, evil for no reason, to be quite fair. And of course, the people who are mad at Nia Jax, but steady watch WWE. They went to Saudi Arabia. Just gonna keep pointing that out. They went to Saudi Arabia. Do with that as you will. But yes, to wrap us on up, ALW.
What?
Your headline thingy.
Yeah.
Where it says, I am the greatest.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're gonna be able to say that pretty soon. I'm just saying. And if we had chosen on time, you would not have been able to say that because somebody definitely would have won that Impact Championship off it. Like the belt just off of Impact.
I'm just saying there's something to being the only one prepared and paying attention. So, I mean, what can I say?
I feel like everybody thought it was Sunday.
Except for me. I got my picks in time.
So you actively didn't say anything. So you could be a forfeit win.
Okay,
I
so
see you.
To be fair, it wasn't in Discord.
Yeah, I put it in Discord. Even I forgot about it. I put it in Discord and I forgot about it. I forgot about a lot of things.
Responsibility to remind you how to beat the champ.
Listen, again, because ALW got a kick out of it. CM's clowns of the week were Punk's haters that are mad that they're not like most girls and just trash at people, okay?
Like common
Okay.
sense.
So,
Like your cult leader says, touch grass.
ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna remove everybody. Boop, 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 boop. Here we go. Here I am. How you doing? I'm here to say thank you to the 126 people who have joined our channel. Thank you so much. I also want to thank you for the 9,000 short views that we've had. We so appreciate that. That gets us closer to our goal. So make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Okay. Also, make sure you're tuning in to all of our channels, subscribe to all of our things. That helps us greatly. Okay. Now I'm going back to the sky. Everybody back. Okay. So
Are we good?
Technical difficulties on that end.
I'm not sure what happened there. I guess we lost Dolores at the end there. So
Yeah, you know her Wi-Fi keeps freezing on her.
right.
All right, hold
Let's
on.
see.
Do you have the shows? I'll run over.
I'm trying to find it right here. Let's see.
Okay.
Oh.
On Monday. Are you here? Do you want to do it?
There we go. Okay, I can hear y'all now.
Dolores? Yeah. Okay.
All right.
I'm here.
Okay. Go ahead.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, on Monday is Enter the Square Circle, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch. On that's with ALW and Sammy. They're gonna be going over Block B on they did that Monday. Okay. Tuesday is Seeing Stars with ALW and Sammy. It happened this morning at 10:30 a.m. It happens twice a month. So wait. It's also on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. Ladies and gentlemen, you're here live with us at the Cookout, where we had a hot topic session today. We are live on YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. Ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow at 11:30 p.m., make sure you tune in to All for Not. That is at YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. Ladies and gentlemen, on Thursday is Aftermath of Dynamite. That's on YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. Okay, that is with ALW and question mark, because it could be a array of people who comes on that Thursday. And so we talk all things AEW, from Rampage, Collision, Dynamite. We do previews. Make sure you're there. Friday is Friday Night Fights at 8 p.m. on YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. We start off at 8 p.m. with SmackDown, and then we roll into Rampage. So you start at SmackDown with Anika and Sammy, and then maybe CM or ALW, or, slide on in at the end at Rampage. Then you have Under the Radar on Saturday at 11 a.m. on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. That is where you find CM and ALW talking all the things you might not have time to see, but you want to keep up with, like BTE, ROH, Impact, all these things. And then you have Collision. Collision is Saturday night at 8 p.m. live on YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to let you know some days on Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, which at the end of the month we're going to talk about now, we have pay-per-views. So we let you know ahead of time. So make sure you're here for that. At the end of the month, this month, we're going to be having No Mercy on Saturday, the 30th, and August 1st, which is Sunday. I mean, not August, October 1st. Sorry, I'm trying to go back. October 1st, that Sunday, we will have AEW's Wrestle Dream. Okay. Also, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you're on the lookout for the cookout symbol, and also look out for this YouTube audio WWN watch alongs. We watch as we watch along. You can listen to us. You don't always have to be in the chat looking at us because we know you work. You got things to do. Okay. Also, ladies and gentlemen, be on the lookout for retro watch alongs. They drop sometimes. Sometimes we know we're gonna do them. Sometimes it's just a spur of the moment thing. We just let you know when it's happening. We've already have two in the playlist. One was with ALW and Sammy. The other one was the group and the cookout, and that was for Sammy's birthday. I think another one will be coming up soon. So just make sure you're on the lookout because we'll let you know. Okay. Also, ladies and gentlemen, again, make sure you're here every day. We're here every day. Every day. Okay? Look at it every day. Okay? So, anybody else have anything else to say?
Look at it, damn it.
Yep, look at it. We're here every day. We here.
Anything.
We here when other channels are not here. We are here, okay? We support you, okay? You name
When
it,
you
we got
sleep,
it.
we
We here.
here.
We're a
I
one-stop
would,
shop for wrestling.
I would like to say that they may be here every week, but every day of the week. I am here on Tuesdays, Fridays, Saturdays, maybe some Sundays, just because I like
Ladies and, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to clarify. CM is not always here. She's here, but she's not always here. She's here in spirit, just like I will be in starting next week. I will be here in spirit, okay? My spirit will be here. I might be behind the scenes, I ain't gonna be no good, but I will be here in spirit, okay? I'm gonna pray everything works out, okay?
as long as
So,
we don't let Anika get too tired, we'll be tired.
listen, if nigga get tired, I
And
know
Epsy should have been tired.
I
But
know
it's
if I'm not high enough, I'm going to make sure I clip it. Okay? Because it's gonna be like clip it. Like them clips going high. Yeah, everybody loves y'all. They don't like me, but that's okay. Uh everybody until then,